Check this thing out. What is this? Y'all know? It's a romper, dude. This thing is sweet. I went and picked this thing up from my buddies at Garage Zero the other day. This is one of their old Gambler cars. Not really sure what the Gambler is. They've tried to get me to do it a few times, but a bunch of them build these really cheap oddball cars. They go through the forest, state to state. They pick up trash, and I don't know. It seems like a pretty cool deal. I just don't have the time. But this is one that I guess they're trying to unload. They want to get rid of the graffiti. Somebody's already painted this car 2 or 3 times with what looks like house paint, maybe. I don't know. My homeboy Lunchbox, he said that he cared less if I used tractor paint or if whatever it was. He needed it one color because she's a little sore on the eyes. But she's got some scars too. Really trying to do no body work on this thing. Literally tape it up, feather it out, clean it, shoot it, and gone. I normally hate doing this kind of stuff, but hey, I'm a hustler, baby. I need to get paid. We're trying to get this in and out 2 days for under $750. See what we got. All right, dude, this thing's super grubby. We're gonna give it a good old Dawn bath with a red Scotch-Brite and try and get some of this stuff off of it. You can definitely tell they've been romping it through the woods. Looks like a mud truck underneath this thing. All right, dude, we got this thing in here. We're gonna go ahead and turn some fans on, get the blower out, blow all the residual water off, any loose dust, leaves, anything like that. We also have to get these side moldings off. That's the only request Ross really had, was just to pull them off to match the other side. So we're gonna get on that. As you can see, this car has been painted multiple times, and it was obviously a cop car. At least this door, this side was, I don't know. But we're gonna try and feather this out the best we can. See this? They have taped and painted over the gasket all the way. So now I have to match that line as well. Multiple layers of graphics, paint, spray paint, primer. Ugh. Let's not forget rust. So here's our paint we're using. It's from Mobile Paints, straight out of Alabama, boy. It says industrial and marine coatings. You know why? Because we're painting a boat. Big old 4-door boat. This is some industrial stuff. It's pretty much used on like FedEx trucks, tractors, stuff like that. And we do have a FedEx hub in Jacksonville that repairs them. So they carry a lot of this stuff, and it's actually really, really cheap. So the cool thing is, if we get any trash in it, or if we wanted to make it nice, we could wet sand and buff it and color sand it out. Are we going to? Absolutely not. This is what happens when you don't use primer. The paint has nothing to hold on to. Well, talk about deja vu. I got it back in here. I couldn't stand the runs on the side and all the transparencies from where the molding was and the dark and light spots. Turns out you really do have to prime bare metal, even if you try to put this stuff right over the top of it, trying to be cheap. So either way, I let it set for like 2 days, mowed them down with 320, got it smooth, and I plan on using that first original coat that I wasn't happy with, kind of like a sealer or a primer. So we'll see. Here we go. The roof and the hood turned out pretty decent, and I'm really not trying to take a chance on getting dry spray from respraying the sides. So I went ahead and back taped them with plastic. So that's two less panels that I gotta worry about slicking out or something getting in. This single stage is unforgiving, very unforgiving. Well, well, well. Let's get this thing unwrapped, get all the paper and tape off of it, and get it the hell out of here. I don't know if we'll ever financially recover from having to paint this thing twice, more or less, for how cheap we did it. It damn sure looks a lot better than it did. But, you know, it is what it is. Cheap paint jobs. Do they exist? I don't know. I mean, it's all about interpretation. If you have OCD and you're used to making shit really nice, probably shouldn't try to do a cheap paint job. At least it don't have graffiti. And it looks a hell of a lot better than it did the other day. I don't know what the hell this thing is, dude. It's like Wi-Fi or air vent or some Back to the Future, Marty McFly type stuff. You know, some super duper type shit. I don't know, but we taped it up. It looks fresh. Oh yeah, hold on. I think it's Wi-Fi. I don't know. If you know what that is, comment below. Dude, this thing don't look terrible. I don't hate it. We're gonna give it a quick clean up job. We're gonna squirt some shine on these tires. I might even scrape this glass, hit it with a little Windex, clean it up, and we're gonna mob it back over there. I don't hate it. Dude, if this thing had just a little bit more travel, I would love to take this thing for a rip around the pasture. Full send. I'm talking like, whoa. Yeah, dude. Oh boy, it's already in the fender. It ain't mine, I can't do that. Heading over to my buddy Brian's little on-call, on-site, drop-off, install assistance. Normally don't do that kind of stuff, but these are more than just customers. He has a Duramax that he's done a bunch of work to. Needed a front end. Got him a fender, a bumper, resprayed his hood. Pearl white. I'm sure they don't match, but I think it's just a work truck, but we'll see. They're over here, had the whole front end blown apart earlier. He sent me a picture of it. So got one little spot that I literally didn't even have time to nib out. They showed up at the shop before I did this morning, so I'm gonna go over here and see if I can shine it up and make it look decent. We'll see. Not bad.
So it ain't like come off.
No, it's just it's throwing codes, and if I really.
This is what we delivered. We'll just we'll let Tim send us a picture of what it looks like done. But all these fasteners still gotta go up in there, and all of that stuff up there and there and there and there and that. And
well, I finally got my package in. I've been waiting on from Tropical Glitz and Limewine, two separate companies that we get a lot of our metal flaking candy from. Now we can get started back on Thomas's body. You see it's black again. And we have this really cool open face vintage helmet. We're gonna go ahead and prep it, scuff it with like 600, clean it up real good, get it where it's hazy and can adhere. This is some new stuff that I haven't used a lot, but it apparently you can put it right over black base coat and it still pops. So I'm excited to try that out. 2 to 3 coats. Mix this in with your inner coat, which is basically an untinted paint, and it's like a thin clear, but it helps the flake lay flat. I still have the reference points on the body from the original paint scheme. We're gonna do just different colors. I got a few new colors I think we're gonna try. Starting over with a clean slate, to say the least. We'll go ahead and get our tape on here, get our masking done, and get some of this mixed up. Also, Limewine hooked it up with their Flex vinyl tape for graphics. We got some new lace we're gonna be trying out. They sent us some stickers, check them out. And of course, Tropical Glitz with the ready to spray candies. All right, so we're gonna take regular water and a rag, wipe it down, maybe come back with some wax and grease remover, blow it off, get all this ashy dust out of here, and get it blowed off the best we can so we can start laying out our fine line graphics. This is our inner clear, our binder, whatever you want to call it. This is what we're going to mix with our flake. It mixes 1-to-1. With urethane reducer, we're going to go with medium because of the temperature. So hopefully, instead of mixing this stuff in clear coat like most people do, by putting it in here, it'll flash off like base coat. And after we put the gold on, within a few minutes, it'll be dry to the touch, which means we can do another color, which we plan. So if this stuff mixes 1-to-1, it's pretty basic. There's your ratio, 1-to-1. We're gonna go to about 3, which will give us about a half a cup. This stuff is basically untinted paint. It's basically paint without no color in it. Oh, how do you know how much flake? about that much. That looks good. We'll give that a shot. Well, okay. Perfect. All right, we're back. I stayed last night, got the flake laid down. Our first initial round of graphics, I guess you would call it. I'm gonna come back and you can see it's shiny again. It's only got one good coat of clear, but it seals this. So we're gonna scuff it real lightly, tape off the black, and lay out our new pattern where I'm gonna do lace on the sides with airbrush and a couple different candies. And then I'm gonna also up here, I got some new cool stencils from Stick It Stencils. They're one-time use, but it's kind of like a scale type deal, going for the old school look. Saved y'all the boredom by not showing you the time lapse, but we taped off the sides. We're gonna go ahead and start our middle piece. I picked me up a new fresh airbrush and some Tropical Glitz black candy. Also, I've been trying these new Stick It stencils. They're like a one-time use decal. Dude, they have all these different designs. I'll start the time lapse. Works like a stencil. You put it down, pull it off, put it on, over and over and over and over and over again. Once you get a couple inches of it done, it does start looking pretty cool and it makes a pretty legit pattern. But we'll go ahead and get that on there. We'll get the centerpiece done, and then we'll go ahead and start adding some other candies for more contrast and depth. And it kind of makes it look cooler, I think. So here we go. That turned out pretty cool. I really dig this design. I'm gonna come in here now with my airbrush with the black candy, and I'm gonna just pound this edge, this blue tape line, all the way around. All the way around here and here, just with black. Now I'm gonna clean out my airbrush with some lacquer, get it totally rid of any black that was in there, clean it out real good. And I'm gonna bring in some Harvest Gold, ready to spray, and maple syrup. They're a brown. They kind of give it like an antique patina look. And I'm gonna bring it in on the edges and fade it in from black. Still try to leave some gold there. We'll see how it looks. All right, I think that's looking pretty dope. I like the transition to the gold. We're gonna go ahead and untape this, pull the fine line. It's kind of oddly satisfying. As long as it doesn't lift the candy, it should look pretty cool. We're gonna give it probably 15-20 minutes. It's already dry to the touch. Instantly it's ready to spray. It dries really quick. And then we'll end up back taping what we just painted, so we can go ahead and do our sides. We're probably gonna end up putting lace on the sides. Same process on this side. We faded it from black into maple syrup into harvest gold and washed out the edge. Now we're gonna let it set for a little bit, and then we're gonna do the untaping, and hopefully we do not have catastrophic failure.